Welcome to another episode of the Multiply of Income by Permissible. I'm Ali. We also have H and Osman. We're here to talk about today the FICO score. What is a FICO score? Can you elaborate on that for us, Osman?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the FICO a little bit, right? The FICO is the Fair Isaac Corporation, right? That's what they call the FICO. It's the oldest algorithms used to get like your credit scores, right? Um, it's another consumer credit scoring model. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about the FICO, right? They got various different models, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the newest model that's coming out probably by the summertime of 2021. We talking about 2021. We're going to talk about that FICO 10. This FICO 10, and watch out for this because there's a twist with this FICO 10. This new model would take into account a consumer's account balance and missed payments over the last 2 years. So over the last 2 years, it's going to take account of your account balance and your missed payments over the last 2 years. This is going to affect about 40 million consumers. You will see the scores drop as a result of that. So get prepared for this coming. That's the FICO 10. Now they
That's
got
the
other models. They got other models out there as well, right? But the FICO model is used by 90% of the top lenders. This model is used for mortgages, student loans, auto loans. It's a three-digit number. Starting like around 300, going up to like 850. They got, like I said, they got various different FICO models. Um, they have like FICO 3. They got FICO 7, 6, 8, 9. Like 3 is used by mostly the mortgage lenders. FICO 7 is used mostly by like credit card lenders, and then you have FICO 6 is used by mostly auto lenders, and most all these algorithms are what they call industry specific. That they're specific to that industry, based on the certain things that industry is looking for to get a solid score on you. Then you got the FICO 9, which was officially launched to lenders like around 2014, but most of the people still use the FICO 8 model. And the FICO 8 model utilizes all three bureaus to get the information. So when I say all three bureaus, they utilize TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. They all have their own models. But I want to talk a little bit about the FICO 3, right? Because we talking about mortgages, and people always want to talk about mortgages and things of that nature. So when you talk about the FICO 3, but for mortgage lenders, Equifax, they got a beacon they use like a beacon 5. Experian use a risk model V2. TransUnion use a risk model risk score of 04. But getting back to the FICO 3, so I'm gonna do like a hypothetical situation what an underwriter might go through and how they might make a decision about whether to give you a mortgage or not. So like since uh since most people have like the FICO 3 scores, one from each bureau, how will lenders choose which one to use? So how would an underwriter choose which score to use if they're getting three scores from TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, right? It said for a FICO to be considered usable, it must be based on adequate and concrete information. So if there's too little information and inaccurate information, the FICO score is deemed unusable for the mortgage underwriting process. Once the underwriter has determined the score is unusable, uh, whether it's unusable or not, they use this process. So once they determine whether a score is unusable or not, this is the process they use. If all three scores are different, if you have three different scores, instead of taking the highest score or the lowest score, they'll take the middle score. I'm gonna say that one more time. If all three scores are different with the underwriter, instead of taking the highest score or the lowest score, they'll take the middle score. So if somebody had a 700, a 680, and a 650, they would take the 680. They'll take the middle score. And another thing the underwriter do as well is if they have two of the same scores and then they have a different score, they would use the score that's the same, regardless whether the two scores are higher or lower than the third score. So if I got two 680s and you got a seven and that you have a 700, they're gonna use the 680. Or of the third score is 650, another two is 680, they're gonna use the 680 because they're gonna use the two that's the same. So that's two different scenarios that an underwriter use, to determine which score they're gonna use for what they're gonna use to decide whether you get that mortgage or not. So that was just a little insight on that FICO 3 going a little deeper. Like I said, they got various different models. The new one that's coming out is the FICO 10. That's the one people worried about a little bit because they're going over the past 2 years, looking at your lates and looking at your balances. So they're going to be checking that. So we're going to see how this affect everyone when they drop this new model out. So that was a little recap. We know the last show we did, we talked about what the Vantage score was. And we know the Vantage score was compiled by TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and they gave us the Vantage score. They actually created that algorithm. The kind of I want to say try to compete with FICO, but FICO is used by 90% of the lenders, and we know that Vantage is only used by 10%. The numbers probably changed, but that's where it's at right now. So there you have it. I dropped the bomb on what that FICO is. You got anything else for him, H?
Pretty much. Just not elaborate, but I'll just explain to the viewers what is the main score that they use of the FICO right now, not the FICO. We know the FICO 10 coming, but what is the main, which module do they use?
Well, they're gonna use a model depending on what you're trying to get. So like I say, if you trying to get a car, they're gonna most likely use like a FICO 6 because everything is industry specific. And if you're trying to use a credit card, they probably use like a FICO 7, and then like some of the lenders, they use like a FICO 8, which FICO 8 they utilize information from all three credit bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. So they created these algorithms to be specific to the industry that they're dealing with, whether it be auto, mortgage, or credit cards. So that's how FICO has broke these down. So they got different models depending on the industry that is being used for. So just keep that in mind. But the best thing is to have a good credit score with a file that's pretty balanced out, and try not to have any lates or any delinquent payments. If you do, you can go ahead and get your credit repaired. If you need help with that, you can always contact us at permissiblellc.com, or you can give us a call at 267-225-0602. And you might get Ali on the line when you call, or you might get HR me on the line. But whoever you get, we're gonna work together, to give you the best help we can. And we got various other services as well. But that's what you got on the FICO. So anything to add to that, Ali? I just did a recap on the FICO.
Nothing to add, Awesome.
Well,
We appreciate it, and we're gonna keep on coming with more content and more subjects that the people need.
close us out, H.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. Thanks for viewing. Keep the comments coming. And remember, we're going to continue to drop that heat for y'all.